What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the JT Sports Podcast, man. We got my guy Artie here from FilmIssaArt, and he feels like it's the year for the Dallas Cowboys, man. He feels like it's going to be the year. What's going on?
I'm doing good, brothers. Good to be back. See a little upgrade, fourth day. Got the lights in here, so doing well. FilmIssaArt is doing well. We really capitalized on all our goals this past draft season. We hit 100 subs on YouTube. You know what I mean? 10,000 views in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really accomplished all of our goals, and now we're just trying to spring forward to class 2024. But as JT mentioned, most of FilmIssaArt, WR Brandin Cooks, Cowboy fans, I had to come up here and chop it over my boy and set the record straight about the Cowboys and the rest of the NFC and starting the stuff.
Yeah, man, you guys make sure to check out my guys' FilmIssaArt. Once again, it's not FilmIssaArt, it's FilmIssaArt. Make sure to go subscribe to my boys. I'll have the link down to their channel in the description, comment section down below. Let's talk about these damn Cowboys, man. How about them Cowboys, man? Let's go. Let's talk about Mazi Smith, because a lot of the Cowboy fan base out there, when you drafted Mazi Smith, that's like, bro, what the hell is wrong with y'all? I mean, like, Mazi. Oh, man. Who you wanted Don Kincaid?
Go back and look at our live stream. I was like, what? We passed on 24, we passed on 9. But like always, you watch the tape again. Who's your player and not the they player?
So it's like, how do you feel about Mazi Smith, man? Because at first, there were people out there that wanted, Dalton Kincaid. The Skip Baylesses of the world wanted Dalton Kincaid. You had people out there that wanted corner. And you guys took Mazi Smith. And you watch this film, that boy Mazi Smith, he a dog. It's like, what is he going to bring to the Dallas Cowboys defense? And what impact is he going to have on this Dan Quinn defense this season?
Something that the Cowboys have struggled with over the past few years in our mirage of playoff loss, being able to stop the run. We've been trying to fix that problem for years. Mazi Smith is the answer to that problem. This dude is a freaking tank. But not only a tank, he is very, very athletic. His ability to take on double teams to beat them, his ability to be able to not only stop the run, but also offer series pass rush. Like, the game that comes to my mind off good is the Penn State him in 2022 on tape, where he was just throwing guards like rag balls, creating pressure and creating havoc in the backfield. Now, as a finisher, he doesn't always finish because he is a defensive tackle, so, quarterbacks are able to get away. Now, I think Mazi Smith can come to day one be not only our starting one tech and possibly 3 tech at times, but he's going to also immediately really help us in the run department when it comes to stopping the run. And luckily, if he continues to strict and be like a Brady Jerry type of play, to where, he's great against the run, but on third down, man, he's more about that, because he can definitely help rush the pass.
Now, is this man going to come in and be like a Pro Bowl caliber player right out the gate? Is he going to have that kind of impact?
I don't see him being a Pro Bowl player right off the gate, but I do see him being easily the best defensive tackle coming through the class, for sure. Like, dude's going to come in and he's going to be an impact player, and he's going to play right away. The only other defensive tackles that I would see him getting set down for is also defensive tackle for UCLA we drafted a couple of years ago, and Jonathan Hayden, a proven veteran who is also a tank. So, those are the guys that probably come off the board. But, man, he's definitely in a long run. You saw the way Mike McCarthy reacted when we drafted him. You know what I mean? So, he's very welcome around here, and he's already in that defensive lineman locker.
how good is the Dallas Cowboys offense going to be, man? Because a lot of you Cowboy fans, you watch my reaction to the Chargers bringing in Kellen Moore, and I was saying a lot of great things about how he's going to elevate that offense, and y'all were doing what you're doing right now, laughing at me saying, JT, that fool Kellen Moore cannot call no damn plays, man. So you got him going. How good is this offense going to be now?
So it's a two-part question. I'm gonna first address Kellen Moore, and I'll talk about the offense. That's cool. First off, to Kellen Moore, anybody that supports him, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what you eat, what you drink, but you need to stop. Like, well, coming from a person that watched him call plays for years, like, Kellen Moore is not it. This man has no feel of situational football. He has no philosophy. He doesn't like running the ball. It's okay. Some people don't like running the ball. But Kellen Moore, like, in interviews, like, he literally said with a smile on his face. He was like, yeah, when it comes to running the ball, I mean, I'd rather throw it. And you could tell. You could tell. Because he only runs the ball when he has to. I mean, we never schemed up a run for Ezekiel Elliot post 2019. Was a run that could actually get him good yardage. All the yards he got was by himself. Same with Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is one of the fastest players in the league. Why is he running gap power? Why? What's the point of running gap power with Tony Pollard? You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't have no creativity on strip, zone runs, nothing. And then you get to the meat panels like, yo, why every 3rd and 7 you're running stop routes, bro? Every time it's 3rd and 7, you see CeeDee Lamb knocking down, whoever else is out there, Amari Cooper when he was here, run into the sticks and stop. Like, and you wonder why Dak looks, so I guess off sometimes. He's got to go with these plays in his head where he doesn't like them. He doesn't have any really outcomes to audible to. When he does audible to him, sometimes people don't even do what they're supposed to do. It's just Kellen Moore, man. When he got let go of his duties, we all like, thank you, Chief.
It was a parade inside my city.
Bro, we were so happy because this man single-handedly ruined so many games for us. Seriously. Like the Jacksonville game last year. Bro, our defense has just caused the turnover. It's 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line. You want gap power with Tony Pollard. That gets 2 yards. You want gap power again with Zeke. That gets 2 yards. And then what do you do? What do you do? You let Dak on 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 6, whatever it was, for a freaking 40-yard pass Noah Brown to stop the clock to get a ball back to Jackson. Now, granted, Dak couldn't do that. Dak could do the ball away. But why are you calling the pass play? Run the ball again. Make them use their timeout. Bro. Kellen Moore, man.
Get it all out, man. It sounds like you got some more to say. Just let it all out. Scream if you got to.
I do, because Cowboy fans don't get a chance to speak in a space like this where it's not toxic. There's no way, but y'all just stuck. Y'all teams, y'all rooting for anyone wants this team too. Like, what y'all talking about? But for the offense, seriously, I think this is going to be the best version of the offense that we've seen past years, simply because Brandin Cooks, man. When I tell you, when we got Brandin Cooks, first off, I had a feeling it was going to happen. But when we got Brandin Cooks, man, I was so excited simply because I know Dak Prescott has never had a wide receiver to run that fast. But beyond that, to have a receiver to run that fast and separate the way Brandin Cooks can, and then the thing about Brandin Cooks, people always talk about, he gets traded every 2 years. Well, he gets traded every 2 years, 2,000 yards with quarterback. So, I don't think it's Brandin Cooks gets traded because he's bad. I think Brandin Cooks gets traded because people don't appreciate it. And everywhere he goes, He gets 1,000 yards and a couple tutties. So I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't get it here. I mean, to have Cook in the locker room with Lamb and especially Gallup, who we God, please have a good year this year.
Because he didn't look good last year, man. His route running was bad. Like, it just wasn't good.
Route running has always been bad. That's the problem. Michael Gallup, the only reason we kept him over Coop was because we didn't want to deal with the whole non-vaccine bullshit. It was never Gallup was better than Cooper. It was Gallup was more of a team player than Cooper. Like, I'm telling you, bro, Gallup, he's not overrated, but he's not a wide receiver too. He's at best when he's right now a third option. He can be that guy to catch those 50-50 balls, the deep passes downfield. You see what I'm saying? But I do think coming off an ACL injury, because coming off an ACL, it takes you about a year. I think we will see a better version of Michael. But I don't know if the best version of Michael Gallup will come out. I don't know who that is. Because that year he had 2019, we had over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Well, 3 of them came in one game. Again, it didn't matter if one, whatever they call it. So take that with whatever you want. So essentially, he had 1,000 yards and 3 touchdowns. Shot one game on the season. See what I'm saying? So it's like,
He took command that season.
But I think Cooks really helped out the whole offense, man. It allowed for you. There was so much attention around CD Lamb last year, to the point where this Bryce Young game, the dude got triple teamed. Like, that should never happen. You should never be in a situation where your superstar budding receiver is getting triple teamed. You should have options. You know what I mean? But I think with Cooks on the field, it definitely allows for more space to operate. Those wide runs are probably moving to the Tony Pollard. I mean, now you have more space to operate because the defense has to always respect that at any moment Brandin Cooks is the right value for six. So I think Brandin Cooks definitely helps the offense. Also move to the offensive line. I think the offensive line will be a little bit better than it was last year. Nobody talks about this, but Dallas Cowboys was the best tackle performance-wise in class 2022 over guys like Icky Kwanu, guys like Trevor Penning. You know who I'm talking to. You see this? You know who I'm talking to. What were you thinking, my boy? Trevor Penning, okay? You know what I mean? Like, the dude simply worked his butt off and said, you know what? I have Tyron Smith around me. I have Zach Martin around me. There is no excuse why I can't be an elite type of player one day. He put the work in on his body and on his technique, and he had an outstanding season. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're knock on wood and hope that Tyron Smith can stay healthy. But I think the offensive line should be very, very good, especially with Terrence Steele getting hurt last year is very underrated for not just the Cowboys, for the whole NFC. If Terrence still doesn't get hurt, it's funny because when we talk about the players the Cowboys love, talking about Dalton Schultz. If Dalton Schultz catches the touchdown against the Texans, Terrence Steele never carries the ACL. When he dropped the touchdown, the next play, Terrence Steele gets put back and then the lead back to the ACL. So it was very unfortunate, but if Terrence Steele, can come back healthy, I expect it for there to be 5 quality offensive linemen at all times. So, and then, I guess we can talk about the quarterback now, I guess. I find it really funny how everybody, all our teams, has been sitting here saying, like, Dak Prescott, I just can't figure that guy out, man. He throws 15 interceptions, he got hurt, he's really good. And I'm just baffled because the same quarterback who led the league interceptions last year won the Super Bowl, and everybody quiet turkey up. He's the top 5 quarterback in the league because he won a Super Bowl on a team that fought the ring. Talk about Matt Stafford. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the notion of why there's this pause with Dak Prescott, especially when you think about the situation he was in. Like, can you imagine? Like, you got Amari Cooper, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Michael Gallup as your three, you got Cedric Wilson, you got Dalton Schultz, you got Steve Tony Pollard. In the very next year, Cooper gets traded for a bag of peanuts to Cleveland for no reason over a damn vaccine. Cedric Wilson signs a big old deal with Miami that Dak up to get. You'll get that contract. And the only thing, and you just broke your ankle, right? So now you break your thumb. Now you're out for like 5 to 6 weeks. You're rehabbing again during the season, trying to make sure you can play football. And you go out, and you see how many interceptions you throw. On top of that, Noah Brown is running route for you. Noah Brown, listen. For people that don't understand, Noah Brown was one of the worst receivers in football last year when it came to separation. Michael Gallup was too. So you mean to tell me you expect a quarterback of the caliber of Dak Prescott to be able to successfully throw the football when he's got receivers that not only don't separate, but are literally negative in EPA. Negative. That means when you throw the ball to them, it's a higher chance something good does not happen. Like, what? Like, what? I don't understand this notion that Dak Prescott is trash because he threw 15 interceptions. Like, and then when you look at the interceptions, how many were dropped passes? How many were wrong routes? I mean, when you get down to it on the film, like, 7 of them weren't even his fault. So, okay, he threw 15 interceptions. 7 of them weren't his fault. Do the math. Like, I mean, on a year, he threw 23 touchdowns, and what, 8 picks? And y'all are crying saying this man is terrible. Meanwhile, Josh Allen was led the league in turnovers the past 2 years, and nobody's saying anything. They call him an alien. They like he's right on the ball.
I will say this. The difference between Josh Allen and Dak Prescott is that Josh Allen, at this stage of his career, he doesn't need everything to still be able to win you games. You see, the knock on Dak Prescott has always been, with the situation you just laid out last season, when he doesn't have it all, he's not going to be able to overcompensate for that. I think that's what separates the elite quarterbacks from the great QBs. Justin Herbert carried the Chargers for a good majority of last year with a banged up offensive line. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, they were banged up for a good duration of the season. And you think about the guys like Joe Burrow still being able to win despite not having a great offensive line. It's like good quarterbacks or elite QBs, they can overcompensate for something. Versus the Kirk Cousins, the Jimmy G's, the Dak Prescotts, the Derek Carrs. They need a good situation around them. And if you give them that, they can win you games. And I don't think Dak Prescott is a bad QB. I think he's a top 13, top 12 QB in the league. I think you can win the Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. I think the narrative around Dak Prescott that the Cowboys offense is being held back by him and they can't win with him, I think that's kind of stupid. You feel me? It's like with Dak Prescott, I feel like as long as you give him a good supporting cast and a good team around him, I think he can win you some ball games. And last year was kind of a uncharacteristic year for Dak Prescott because he's not normally known for turning the football over. Normally, one thing that's always praised about him is his decision making. So this year, I definitely expect for Dak Prescott to be pretty good. I expect for him to cut the turnovers down. I think he'll bounce back to form. But the last thing I want to ask you before we move on is, how good truly is this Cowboys offense going to be as an overall unit? Receivers, QB play, offensive line, running back. You got my boy Deuce Vaughn, small but, hard oversized any day. Love my boy Deuce Vaughn. How you feeling about this Cowboys offense, man?
I think we're a perennial top 10 offense again. To say we'll be top 5 statistically is kind of a little, I don't know right now, because I'm talking about situation. That's probably our weakest unit on offense right now. Simply because, after Pollard, listen, I like Deuce a lot. I dang near love to. But I just don't trust my coaching staff to be able to use him properly year one. You see what I mean? Like it's not like the thing where I think he can't play. I don't know if we'll use him in the best way he can possibly year one. And then also like our running backs are Willie Davis. I like Willie Davis, but the average NFL fan doesn't know who the fuck Willie Davis is. Yeah.
Cause I'm like, who? No disrespect.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, no disrespect to Willie Davis. I like you from out of Florida. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Oh, I remember hearing. Okay. There you go. I was thinking.
It took you a while because to the average NFL fan, it's like, who? Like,
I know who Ronald Jones is though. I'm still banking on this dude to reach his potential from USC now.
No, I just don't know with Ronald Jones because look at what they paid him and look at what he's done so far in his career. It's almost like this is your last chance, buddy.
Or it's the XFL.
Like you had Tom Brady. All that dude's not fumble the ball. And what did you do? You fumbled the ball. You had a free ride to the Super Bowl multiple times, and you just don't fumble the ball. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, man. To wrap it up. So, offensively, I think we can definitely be a top 10 offense in the league. I think when you look at our total offensively, it's really not a lot of teams that match up well with us. So because now with Brandin Cooks, like I was saying, bro, you have to defend the whole field. You cannot spend all your time worrying about CeeDee Lamb, and probably what they're going to do this year is try to, contain Tony Pollard on the edges. This is going to be so hard because at any moment, like, that can really lob the ball over your head, and Brandin Cooks is running away from the defense. So, I think perennial top 10 team. But as far as scoring, though, I think we're going to score 30 a game this year.
30 a game?
I think we're going to score 30 a game. Simply because we have to counter this too. So technically, if you get a turnover and you score a touchdown, like the defense scored a touchdown, it counts for points. So I think we can get a turnover and aim for the defense and get the point. I think we'll be about that. Plus, we play like some terrible teams. Like we play the Cardinals.
And that leads me to my next point, man. What about these damn Super Bowl chances, man? Like, is this the year that Dallas finally gets it done? Because the last time you boys won the Super Bowl, they still watching movies on VHS tapes. For real, man. Like, you told me last week before I got you on here that I was sleeping on y'all. You feel like this is the year y'all boys might get it done. So, what are the Cowboys' chances at winning the ship in 2023, man? And you saying you're not saying this to be, a delusional Cowboy fan like how y'all normally are every offseason, man. This the year. You feel like strongly in your heart, in your soul, you feel it in your soul, man, that this is the year. Why? Why are you setting yourself up for, the disappointment? Why do you feel like this year's different? You know how it is with the Cowboys. You know how it is with y'all boys, man. But why is this different, man? Why do you just got a different feeling in your soul this year, man? Preach to us.
For the same reason for the offense with Brandin Cooks, I'm about to talk about the defense with Stephon Gilmore. Last year, people do not understand, bro. We had Kelvin Joseph.
Don't do my boy like that, man. Don't do my boy Boss Man Fat like that, man. I love me some Boss Man Fat coming out of Kentucky, man.
Don't call him Boss Man. Call him Kelvin. All right, he got an arm box, man. Bro. We had Deshaun Wright playing cornerback at some point. Like not Daryl Williams, that was another year. We had Xavier Rhodes. Like, what's the dude from Trayvon Mullen? Like, quarterback 2 was terrible last year. Like, when Anthony Brown got hurt, it's all, there's always the names with Brown, but I always play with Cowboys. Old Brown, Anthony Brown. Just a bit shit. But with getting Stephon Gilmore, man, you really have a chance to have one of the better cornerback tandems in the league. Really trios because nobody talks about him, but quietly, DeRon Bland was one of the better rookie quarterbacks last year. To be able to play the slot most of the year, get 5 picks, multiple game picks. Like DeRon Bland was very solid at the spot. But man, bro, you cannot talk about our defense without talking about Micah Parsons. I think Micah Parsons. First off, as a scout, I always say this. I was glad I was on Micah Parsons. I evaluated him as a off-ball linebacker, and the way Dan Quinn has him roughing off the edge has me looking stupid right now. Like, this is the guy who literally can bench press tackles and then run around them and then get to the quarterback, but can also fill gaps in the run game. Like, this dude is a very special player. But we led the league. We were top 5 in sacks last year, and number 1 in turnovers. And we got better at our positions and weakness on defense. See what I'm saying? Like, we were already probably a top 5, top 3. A lot of things we got better. So for those reasons, what I said about the offense, and I know I guess it's the perfect times I want to give you a little rebuttal on the whole quarterbacks that need weapons and stuff. I feel like all quarterbacks need weapons. It's not just applied to guys like Kirk Cousins or Jimmy G. But first of all, I don't think that those guys anyway. I think that top 10 quarterback. I really think it's top 5. But
whoa! I mean, it's like.
But bro, you gotta be real. You gotta be real for a second, right? So, like, Mahomes,
Joe Burrow.
I'll give you Burrow. I'll give you Allen. And for fairness to this, I'll give you Jackson.
Give me Lamar, man. Lamar wins 70% of his games with way less than Dak.
I'm saying is realistically after Allen, we can start having that conversation. Because while Josh Allen does have a crazy arm, he doesn't have good decision making. And on top of that, Josh Allen has been able to play with Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, a different stable of running backs and talented every week. And then recently you've had elite receivers. So it's not like he hasn't had a bunch of stuff either. Joe Burrow has the best wide receiver core in the entire league.
But a terrible offense.
He has the best receiver core in the entire league. Period.
But he still is able to overcome some limitations, though. For Dak Prescott, you need elite offensive line and good receivers with elite QBs. Though you don't need all that though. They can overcome something.
Offensive line since 2016. Our offensive lines have been good. Some years, I think I say 2021 it was borderline great. But all the other offensive line have been good. To 2018, it was average, and he's still performing. So for me, I just look at it and I say, after those 4, after Mahomes, obviously, Burrow, for this exercise, Jackson, Allen, Dak, and Herbert, you can have that conversation. It might not go a certain way, depending on certain people, but you can have that conversation. With Dak and Hurt, you can definitely have that conversation, in my opinion, because everybody talks about Jalen Hurts. Last year, Jalen Hurts had 3,500 yards, 23 touchdowns. I forgot the number of picks. Dak Prescott in 2019 had a better season. And it's strictly passing because when you think about the run game and everything, obviously, Jalen Hurts is a very good athlete. And almost rushing touchdowns, even though most of them came from 2 yards out. We ain't talking about that. But as far as passing and his ability too, people give Jalen Hurts all the credit when you only have the 1 year success. In the 1 year success, you only had to make 1 read sometimes. See what I'm saying? This man Dak Prescott was going through 3 reads where he's got 2 people that are nowhere near open. He's got to make a decision in a split second. You know? So while I don't expect the sympathy of the NFL, I do want you to be a little more understanding. Like when you have to deal with these situations with the quarterback, especially if I don't even think you understand how good Dak is, like as far as his ability. Like Dak Prescott and Josh Allen, okay, like Josh Allen has a better arm, but Josh Allen's a impressive defense than Dak Prescott. Like Joe Burrow, I like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow doesn't read Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are in a situation where their reads are so quick. And that goes back to what I said about Kellen Moore, Zach Taylor. I don't know who Buffalo, their goal coordinator was Brian Daboll. These guys are putting them in situations where they have these receivers getting open quickly because of their talent, but also because the scheme was so efficient. You got Kellen Moore calling stop on third and 8, and you expect him to you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like my man's gonna underrap. But anyway, all that to say, I think this year you're gonna get the very, very best version of Dak Prescott. Like, I'm saying it now. I'm saying on my show we start to see a spiral on NFL pregame show that I'm watching this fall. I think Dak Prescott is gonna have an MVP caliber season this year. Like talking 45 tugs, only 7 picks. What? I'm standing on.
So the Cowboys, these boys coming into this year, they world beaters. They about to clobber everybody.
I didn't say all that. No, I didn't say they're not
45 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's one of the greatest seasons that we've seen in recent memory. This is Peyton Manning, Tom Brady-esque. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but think about all the things that I've said though. With Brandin Cooks being able to open up, and I haven't even talked about the young tight ends yet. I ain't talking about Jake Ferguson, who by the 2 best tight ends in the game. Now the name drop every time he's gonna break it out. Kittle and Kelsey, they're flying them up unscripted. So that's that. Then we have Schoonmaker. If you guys want to see my reaction on Schoonmaker, it was not great. He's 25 years old. But he's another athletic tight end. You see what I'm saying? And then we got Henderson. He's another athletic tight end. So I think with the weapons that he has, it's not the best weapon in his career, but it's the best weapons for him to have the most success he's had in his career. And then you couple that with the league. Name this. How many? Now I know you don't agree that he's an elite quarterback, but how many teams have a good to great quarterback and elite defense?
I'll say about 5.
4 to 5.
Mahomes, you got Steve Spagnuolo, their defense.
Elite defense?
In the postseason, it is.
Elite.
I'll consider it elite.
Top 5. They're like top 5 in everything. Not just in spurts.
I really can't go. I really can't judge it off stats. I really just go off how you perform against in big games. And Steve Spagnuolo's defense has always come up big in the postseason. And then you got Lou Anarumo. He's one of the best DCs in the game. His defenses are always pretty good. Let's see, Lamar, Josh Allen.
Ravens defense is elite in my opinion. Bills defense is borderline.
Unless
only two I would say, and simply because Mahomes is just elite, he just makes up for everything. He's like another player. But I would say Jets and maybe
it's
Buffalo. Like to have an elite defense and an elite quarterback, it's not a common combination. Like the Eagles had it last year, but the problem with the Eagles is they lost one of their best defensive players in Javon Hargrave. That's really gonna hurt you. Now you replace him with Jalen Carter, who's stuck in his own right, but at the same time you have to rely on rookies. You're setting yourself up for boom or bust.
But ain't y'all relying on Mazi Smith though?
Is he better than Mazi Smith?
No, aren't y'all relying on Mazi Smith?
Yes, but listen to what I said. I said that we have Open Digazula and we have
Get your point.
Day one. They have Fletcher Cox, but outside of him, all they have is Jordan Davis and Carter. So Carter's going to come in and have to play majority of the snap. So it's a different type of pressure. But all in all, bro, I think with Dak Prescott, like I predicted already, having the MVP caliber season, and with the defense playing the way, I mean, they played well last year without a number 2 point. But there were games where after Cooper Rush was playing, bro, we had winning games 20-10.
So let me ask you this: on a scale of 1 through 10, how confident are you that the Dallas Cowboys make it out of the NFC this year? 6.
But I didn't get to that. I didn't get to that. Who else is winning in the NFC? Who else?
Who's threats? So who's the threats to Dallas?
We have San Francisco. We have the Eagles. But who else do we have to compete with?
Detroit. Detroit got a squad this year, man. Don't make that face, man. Don't act like you ain't been seeing what the Lions been doing now. Don't do that now.
Who's the quarterback?
Jared Goff was arguably the hottest QB to end last season. He had no interceptions to end of last year. And they got Ben Johnson as their OC, who's one of the best OCs in the game. This man could have been a head coach. He's about to be a head coach next year. It's always about the coaching staff too, man, when it comes to Super Bowl teams, man. Like, teams that normally make it to the Super Bowl get their coaching staffs rated. The Detroit Lions with Ben Johnson, they overhauled the secondary. They got a really good pass rush. They had James Houston, Aiden Hutchinson. They bring in Hercules at linebacker. I mean, that defense is going to be really good, at least way better than what it was last year. Like, Detroit, they got a squad, man. They're up there.
They do have a squad, but here's my point. They might not even make the point. Like, they're not, like, they have to compete with their division. Like, Justin Fields is going to tear the league up. You still have to deal with Kirk Cousins and all his chains and all his ice. You know what I'm saying? And Justin Jefferson, like, they have to compete with their division. Who do we have to compete with?
Philly?
Like, yes.
And you gonna laugh at me. And y'all division, I like the Commanders, man, with Airbnb. They all, Washington had a top 5 defense last year, though. They did have a top 5 defense, though. You got to think, their offense is what kept their defense back, because their defense was on the field for way more plays than what they had to be. But every year under Ron Rivera, Washington has at least had a top 10 defense or better. All they need is for that offense to be better.
When you say top 5, that's a defense that can match up with anyone.
Okay, but they do have one of the best D lines in the NFL, though. We can't take that away from them. Absolutely. Their defense should be really good, and their offense got weapons. All they need is a OC. They got Airbnb. You believe in Airbnb?
Right, but that's the same thing with the Lions. A lot of things have to happen. Like, you need Sam Howell, who I really like, by the way. Quarterback stuff. I scouted him. I really like Sam Howell. You need Sam Howell to be really, really good. You also need to figure out what the hell you got at running back, because Brian Robinson was terrible last year. I was 3.9 yards a carry. And Antonio Gibson can't stop fumbling. So, it's like, and the same thing with the Lions. Like, now the Lions are definitely a better team than the Commanders, and I think the Lions are going to make the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to win the division, but they probably make it as like a 6 or 7 seed. But with that, right, with the internal struggle they have to have in their own division, you have to count that, like, it's like, are they playoff contenders or Super Bowl contenders? I feel like Super Bowl contenders are teams that you know from the moment the season starts, not only are they going to make the playoffs, but they're going to be at least in the division round. I feel like we had earned that with expectation. Because of what we did in the offseason, we already had a 12-point win last year, and we got better at positions of need all across both sides of the ball. But back to your point about Philly, right?
I'll give you another team that I like. And you know which team I forgot the list. You know what team I forgot the list, man. I like them Seahawks. They young, but I like them Seahawks, man. The Seahawks are so stat, man. They're stat. You can't lie. They JSN.
I like them too. But here's the problem again. When you have these quarterbacks who aren't, I'm not going to disrespect them by saying they aren't good, because they are good quarterbacks. We have these quarterbacks that aren't like top tier. You're just really, really hoping and praying on a star they can replicate, the play that they had. And for Geno Smith, it's like, bro, you had a great year last year, a great year. But bro, it's like you with the girl, and you keep peeking on her, and for 1 year you finally stop. Like, do you really think your girl's gonna crush you just because you did trick for a year? Like, Geno Smith was ass since he was drafted. So for 1 year, he stopped being ass, and now he's like, oh man, the Seahawks are contenders. Geno is him.
Because look what they got. Because look at the coaching staff. Coaching staff matters. You're not going to go far in the postseason if you don't have a great head coach. And regardless how good Dallas team is, a large reason why a lot of people, non-Cowboy fans, have faith in y'all is because of Dan Quinn on your coaching staff. A lot of people do not trust Mike McCarthy in playoff games. And I think that is a fair criticism. I think that is fair. You look at Pete Carroll, what he did with Geno Smith, you just do nothing but add more talent around them. They got the two of the best rookie tackles in the league. I won't say the best, but two of the best. Okay. You bring in Alua Timmy, and then you already had a damn good wide receiving core with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Now you got JSN operating in the slot. This team wasn't even expected to even be competing for anything last year. They were expected to be competing for the #1 overall pick in the draft, potentially drafting Bryce Young, and yet they found a way to make it to the wild card round. Now you bring in even more talent, and one thing that a lot of people are overlooking about Seattle, if Dallas has a couple of injuries on any position, well, I won't say any position, you're deep at certain positions, but Seattle, they are deep at nearly every single position. Offensive line, running back, receiver, defense, they're stacked when it comes to being able to get after the QB. Like, I feel like Seattle, I'm pretty confident.
I disagree there. I think their pass rush is still something they can work on. I do like Darrell Taylor a lot. I like that number 10.
Uchenna Nwosu. And they got Boye Mafe.
But those are 3 people. I could name 8 pass rushes the Cowboys have. I can name 9 pass rushes the Eagles have. I can name 8 pass rushes the 49ers have. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to rushing the pass, you can't just have effective people to get off the passer, effectively successful. You have ladies, the people that can come in for depth off the bench, and they don't have that. So I get what you're saying about the distance they are defense, like to add the Devon Witherspoon to an already gangster-ass quarterback group, flyer. To add Jackie Jigma to already gangster-ass wide receiver group, flyer. Now here's the problem. If you can't rush the pass, and it's also very underrated. Now, I like how you brought this up when you were explaining, eloquently why they're contenders, bringing back, Bobby Wagner and everything. But it's a passing league, bro. Bobby Wagner now, Bobby Wagner's a great player. He's been helping us in the passing game as well, as far as pick people. But if you can't work if you only have 3 pass rushers, how are you going to be a playoff, Super Bowl and beyond that? Again, like you said with the Lions, you did predict that they're going to beat San Francisco, win the division, but how? Like San Francisco was able to have 4 different quarterbacks last year and still go to the championship game. That's how talented they are. They also have a better coach than the Seattle Seahawks. They also have a better defense than the Seattle Seahawks. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to look at what the 49ers lost on defense, though. You lost Jimmy Ward in that secondary. You lost Emmanuel Mosley, who was really productive, who got a big payday. It's like, I think Kyle Shanahan's a great coach, but let's not act like Pete Carroll is he's up there too. But I think Pete Carroll's up there though. It's like Seattle. I think when you look at Dallas and you compare them to the rest of the NFC, they definitely deserve the recognition of being probably if you aren't sold on Philadelphia or San Fran, you definitely are having Dallas in the Super Bowl discussion. If you don't think Dallas doesn't have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year, you're hating. But there's always new teams that come into the fold every single year. And for Dallas, their Achilles heel, their biggest concern really for me, my question mark is going to be Mike McCarthy. If you were to ask me who I trust more with this team or head to head, because we know coaching matters. You feel me? Doesn't matter how good of a team you have. Eventually, the deeper you go to the postseason, the better teams you're going to face. You see, Seattle was baby last year. You had a young roster. And even though their roster is fairly young, you still do have a little bit more experience. And I look at Mike McCarthy, and I just wonder how is he going to be able to handle playing a team like San Francisco or Seattle that you know is going to be well coached. Because we can say Seattle's going to be well coached because look what they did last season. Like you said, we had questions about Geno Smith. This dude wasn't good. And Geno Smith ended up turning to gold with Pete Carroll. So it's like for Dallas, I'm not questioning are y'all contenders. We know y'all are contenders. But what separates y'all from the rest of the NFC? What are some outstanding characteristics that you feel so heavy in your heart about this team being able to make it to the Super Bowl that you haven't felt in the previous years? What makes this Cowboys team better than previous years' Cowboys teams?
I think for starters, to answer about Mike McCarthy, I think Mike McCarthy was really just waiting on Kellen Moore to fuck up before he took over play calling duties. I think that's what he wanted from day one. I think he really wanted to call the plays. But the Joneses wanted Kellen Moore in because he came off Bears acceptance seasons with 2019 campaign. So I think Mike McCarthy's always wanted to call plays. But I think Mike McCarthy is got a little vengeance thing on his mind because he hears all you guys talking. And beyond that, he saw how bad things ended in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. And I think part of the reason why I'm so confident is I think Mike McCarthy, for the first time in Dak's career, is gonna actually build an offense around him. Actually make an offense to where it's catered to him and what he does best. Because that's the other thing that we did when we talk about the quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes is different, he said. But Patrick Mahomes has an offense literally made for him. I mean, handcrafted. Same with Josh Allen. Brian Daboll literally took an offense and really. That's Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? These guys have offenses. Dak Prescott never had that. Dak Prescott coordinators have been Scott Linehan, Kellen Moore. His quarterback coach has been John but Doug Nussmeier, guys like that. Guys dudes I don't even know. These dudes are terrible. And now he finally has a quality play caller. Now, does Mike McCarthy have to prove that he's a quality play caller again? Absolutely. That's the reason why he got fired. The reason why he got fired from is because he called terrible play. That's the only question you're judging now. You got to earn it. But I'm confident because when the things that we're hearing, rumors wise and everything, but also the things that we're hearing from the beginning, they're talking about this is Dak's off Texas coach. You know what I'm saying? There's all the right things that you may hear for a quarterback who want to have a successful season. But beyond that, moving off, like I said, bro, I'm telling you, our defense. There's a reason why we have led the league for 2 years in a row. That does not happen. Teams do not repeat that success with taking the ball away like that. That is not normal. I don't know what Dan Quinn does, but thank God for Dan Quinn today. He changed through the identity of the football team. Pump the defense should do football team. When you play Dallas, you cannot turn the ball over. Because guess what? If you turn the ball over, we're dropping 41. And teams know that. Teams have to game plan around that. So that's what separates us. our consistency over the past few years defensively, and finally having Dak Prescott in an offense where he can have it catered for him and his strengths. That's why I think they're legit football contenders. Now, like I said, when you asked me a question, I said, am I confident at winning the NFC North Football? I said a 6. So I'm confident that I'm not out here picking my best. But I am saying, yo, look at what we've done over the offseason, bro. We have to take us seriously this year.
You hear that, Stephen A. Smith? You better stop laughing at Dallas, man. You better start trolling these boys. These boys gonna end up making you go on ESPN looking dumb one day. And it might just be this season, man. Make sure you guys check out my guy, FilmIssaArt. Does a lot of great content over there when it comes to the draft. He has so much other good content planned over the next couple of months. Let's segue to this, man. Which rookie QB will have the most success this season, man?
First week football, I don't gotta sit here and pull my heart about the Cowboys anymore. Yes. Which rookie quarterback can have the most success? You might be surprised because of all that conversation, but I actually think it's gonna be CJ Stroud. And here's why. Bryce Young, they're gonna put a lot on that kid's plate. Like, they're gonna put a lot on his plate. Like, think about it. This is the dude from Alabama, like, would get the game plan for the next team on Sunday, and by Monday, this man is already going to the team saying what audibles he wants for this game. And this dude's a freaking beast as far as process information and understanding how football works that he wants. But I think she just Stroud, man, with the weapons they have down there. Tank Dell, I had to say him first, but I know how much you love Tank Dell. Adding Dalton Schultz, already with Nico Collins and guys like that. I think he's in a really good situation. And I also think that this minded coach needs a lot. When you pair these young, elite quarterbacks, defensive-minded coaches, it normally goes well because the defense is something you never have to worry about. The defense is always going to be in a situation where you're always focused. You get to draft Will Anderson. You gave up a lot. You draft Will Anderson, but you pair him with Derek Stingley, you got with Jalen Pitre, one of the most underrated rookies last year. Jalen Pitre is nasty. This is nasty last year. I love Jalen Pitre. So I think CJ Stroud is definitely putting up for success down there in Houston and should have the season of the rookie quarterbacks.
I'm gonna go with Bryce Young.
What? We flipped bro.
This is why I'm going with Bryce Young. DeMeco Ryans is a defensive-minded coach, and yes, you can have success with a defensive-minded coach, but I think it's better in the offensive league that you have an offensive-minded head coach when you have a rookie QB. Think about it. Think about this. Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor, Jared Goff. Who was his first head coach? Jeff Fisher. What was he, a defensive-minded head coach?
No, he was offensive. Jeff Fisher was terrible.
And then who did they bring in to fix it? They brought in Sean McVay. And it's like, when you look at these rookie QBs coming into the game, like Mahomes, who did he have? Andy Reid, Deshaun Watson, Bill O'Brien. With the defensive-minded coaches, it's more important that you nail your offensive coordinator hiring. Now, I'm not saying that I don't believe in their OC, but, I believe in Frank Wright more than I believe in whoever is the OC for Houston because Frank Wright is proven. Now, Frank Wright has a good record as a head coach. Like, this dude isn't a bad head coach. Like, I feel like Indianapolis never should have got rid of him. I feel like you could have just drafted the QB like what you did for new head coach. You feel me? Like, you was playing musical chairs at that position for a very long time. Bryce Young has Frank Wright. This dude is really good at getting efficient quarterback play. This dude had Carson Wentz playing the most efficient football of his whole entire career, 27-7. And although he costed them in the end with his boneheaded decision making, Carson Wentz was way better under Frank Wright with being efficient than he was anywhere else. We saw what happened this past season. He fell apart. You give that to Bryce Young. Plus, you think about the coaching staff that Carolina has. I mean, you got Jim Caldwell. You have I think they have Josh McCown as their quarterbacks coach. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe that he's on their staff. Yeah, so it's like you have a really good staff around Tim. And CJ Stroud, I don't think his supporting cast is bad. I just think it's young and unproven. Bryce Young, you got...
Same thing for Bryce's staff, though?
Well, you got Adam Thielen.
That's not a Thielen and
DJ Chark.
DJ Chark's unproven.
But still, when DJ Chark is healthy, though.
And what Terrence Marshall and like the draft pick, Mingo.
But you also got Hayden Hurst, though.
They got hurt. Hayden Hurst.
And Miles Sanders in the backfield. So it's like, with his situation, I think for Frank Wright, being an offensive-minded head coach, being able to get efficient quarterback play out of his previous QBs that he had prior to last season. I'm just going to... last season ain't happened with Sam Ehlinger and Matt Ryan. I didn't know what the hell that was, but he had Jacoby Brissett playing some pretty good football in a really tough spot. Andrew Luck retired right before the season, in the preseason. They had no plan. He had old man Phillip Rivers, the dude who couldn't move to save his life, Mr. Stationary in the pocket, got them to the postseason. So I'm not counting out CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud is going to be good, but I think that in terms of overall success, I think Bryce Young is in a more comfortable situation because you have so much, experience on the offensive side of the football. You also have a head coach who has been to the playoffs with DeMeco Ryans. Him being the first-year head coach. We got to see if he's going to nail his staff hires because we saw Robert Saleh fell with his young QB. He whiffed on his OC hiring. Zach Wilson looks like a bust up to this point. So it's like maybe if you had an offensive-minded coach in that situation, Wilson might have came out a little bit better. So when I look at Bryce Young in the situation that he has with the Carolina Panthers, plus you're playing in a division that has like 3 coaches that aren't really good. Arthur Smith, the jury stood out on him. Dennis Allen sucks. Todd Bowles sucks. It's like even though you know that Dennis Allen and Todd Bowles is going to have really good defense, it's like I trust Frank Wright to have Bryce Young up to snuff. I think that Bryce Young is going to have the most success as a rookie. And plus, when you also look at success, you got to look at who's going to be able to get to the postseason. Houston, I think I think they're going to be a lot better than what people are thinking. I do think they can have a small chance to win the AFC South because I don't know how good Jacksonville's defense is going to be compared to last year. Their defense was inconsistent at times. You're banking on Trayvon Walker being that superstar pass rush on the opposite side of Josh Allen. So I think Houston has a small chance, but I think for Bryce Young, I think he's not only going to have a really productive rookie season from a statistical standpoint. When you look at the overall team success, if Carolina wins the division, it's going to be because of Bryce Young.
I agree. I normally don't like to do individual success with team success, specifically quarterbacks, because I hate that. We talked about that before. I hate that quarterback play.
Let me rephrase that. I don't mean like Bryce Young's going to carry them, but I do feel like, like they make it to the playoffs, it's going to be because, he had a really good season.
And I can agree with you on that. I think the NFC South is wide open. You know what I mean? No, where I disagree simply is, like I said, they're gonna put a lot on this kid. And when you put a lot on a kid's plate, especially a kid of his caliber and his ability, mistakes are gonna come. Now I feel like both of them are gonna make mistakes. But I feel like Stroud's in a position where he's not gonna have to do as much to be more successful. So he'll continue to be more successful. But it can go either way, bro. Because both of these quarterbacks are extremely talented, and both of them really went to good situations. But I definitely understand the viewpoint on Bryce, though, because, Frank Wright, man. Everybody before the draft was like, oh, man, Frank Wright, quarterback that's 6'3", this thing. Y'all saying now.
Yeah, they thought they was finna get Derek Carr. It's like, man, when they first hired Frank Wright, I said, this would be a great hire as long as you can tell this man to keep his hands off the old quarterbacks in the league. Make this man draft the QB. And I feel like regardless of any QB they would have drafted, even if they would have took Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. I still felt like any of those QBs would have succeeded under Frank Wright because I think that this dude is really good with QBs. Like, I really think he understands how to get the most out of his quarterbacks. Now, CJ Stroud went to Carolina. I would pick CJ Stroud. Like, I really think Bryce Young is talented.
It's really about Frank Wright and the coaching staff.
That's really what I'm looking at. So that's why I think that Bryce Young is going to be set up to have the most successful season. But I think CJ Stroud is going to be up there as well. I think either one is a good choice. Caleb Williams is getting a lot of comparisons to Patrick Mahomes, and I've had a lot of people in my comment section. You know how it is around this time before the college football season begins. Man, y'all giving this man too much praise, too much hype. How dare you? How dare you compare this young quarterback to Patrick Mahomes, the best QB in the game, one of the greatest QBs of all time? Like, as an NFL scout, a true NFL scout, and not the NFL scouts that you see on Twitter, i.e. the former Jet scout. Don't know if you seen him floating around. Caleb Williams, man, please tell these people that this man is the truth.
Listen, all you gotta do is type in FilmIssaArt and go to our page. And the first thing you'll see is Caleb Williams all 22 summary evaluation. That's all you gotta do, bro. Like, the tape that I break down out there on him, bro, is Caleb Williams. This is the quarterback who, yeah, okay, he's 6'1", okay, he's 215 pounds, okay. They have the biggest arm, no. Okay. But guess what? When it comes time to play football, he's simply one of the most electrifying players I've ever evaluated, bro. Like, mind you, I started scouting in 2020. I'm kind of a baby when it comes to it. But, like, it's clear to see this dude can make any throw whenever he wants, however he wants. This is the guy who we were talking about this before we got on. When he's pressured, he is just as accurate, just as potent. This is dead. It's when he's got clean pocket. He's unflappable. Nothing phases him. He needs to get to the right. You can do it on the way there. Throw a ball across his body. And damn it, no problem. He got good ass that come up the side on an over route. Between three defenders. No problem. I'm not lying. The film tests it out. You can go watch it yourself. Like, he's done all of these things and he does it at such a very, very, like, relaxed way. Like, he seems like it's effortless.
And plus,
and we forget he's only a sophomore.
Well, junior now.
Yeah, like, he did all this when he was a sophomore. Like, 45 tutties, like.
He's ridiculous.
Like, that's not normal.
And think about this. I think what's underrated about Caleb Williamson, the reason why he gets compared to Patrick Mahomes is because Patrick Mahomes, when he was coming out of Texas Tech, he was unrefined. They saw a lot of Brett Favre. They just need to put some refinement in it. I was listening to Joel Klatt, right? And on a recent episode of his podcast, he was talking to John Gruden. And John Gruden, right before the draft, was talking to Joel Klatt. And he was like, how you feel about Patrick Mahomes? And Joel Klatt was like, I don't think he's going to work. That air raid offense doesn't translate well to the NFL. You know what John Gruden told him? He said, Andy Reid's going to get him. And Joel Klatt was shocked. And Andy Reid and them boys, they got him, and guess who wanted them? New Orleans. And where was New Orleans picking that in that draft? What, 12th? Sean Payton was going to draft Patrick Mahomes. And then Kansas City traded up a spot. And he said, they're getting Mahomes. And Mahomes was like when you play backyard football, you just rolling around, you just doing whatever, you just trying to make a play. And he got with Andy Reid, and Andy Reid put that all together. And when you look at Caleb Williams, though, it's more refined. It's not all willy-nilly. This dude is mechanically and fundamentally sound from his footwork to his throwing motion. It all is in perfect sync. And what's really underrated about him is his running ability. This dude he may be 6'1", 215, but he's thickly built. Like, this dude, like, This dude was running through people for first downs on third down conversions, man. This dude has really good vision. Incredible vision for a QB.
You gotta remember, he was a running back.
He was a running back first? When was this?
This was in high school. In middle school. And they were like, bro, your arm is too good. Like, what are you doing? And they made him go quarterback. And that was a very good decision. Because at running back, you can run and catch. Quarterback, you can run and throw. So,
and even then, like, I know a lot of people, like, the maturity thing is going to be a question. But honestly, bro, like, I like the cockiness. You feel me? Like, I want my quarterback to be cocky. I want my quarterback to dominate you and talk about it and just physically just irritate you, man. I think that's so mentally, and I think that's, like, really embarrassing. And I think it kind of demoralizes the defense when you know you're getting dominated and there's just nothing you can do about it. The only time I saw Caleb Williams struggle was against Oregon State and in the Pac-12 championship game once he got injured. And even then, this dude was playing on the injured ankle and he was still making plays. This dude should have left the game. Yeah, like, yeah. Oh, I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I know what game you're talking about. That Jazz game. That boy was supposed to not come back. He was like, hell no, I'm not finna let our faith of going to the Super Bowl be decided by Chad Henne. Like, Caleb Williams, like,
the Super Bowl, he re-injured his ankle again. You can see it on the, like, NFL film, sound effects, whatever they have. He was screaming in agony, bro. Like, and just gutted it out. So,
say what you want to say about Caleb Williams, man. Like, say what you want to say, bro. Like, one thing about Caleb Williams, this man got heart. I love Caleb Williams, man. I think a lot of people have compared him to a mix of Andrew Luck and Patrick Mahomes. I think the Andrew Luck comparison comes from, like, how they're both, like, they're not, like, elusive runners like Lamar or Justin Fields, but they're power runners. You feel me? With deceptive speed. And then you got Mahomes with his ability to throw off platform. Like, when I was watching your All-22, this man was throwing on the run and didn't even have to set his feet, man. Come on.
Washington State, bro. Yes, bro. So let me break it down real quick. So, y'all can go watch it. I'm going to break it down real quick. So, they're in a 11 personnel set with them. They got 3 wide receivers and a tight end and a running back. Bro, snap the ball right. Instant pressure. Pressure off the gate, right? So he scrambles to his left. Like, most quarterbacks when they're running, they have to stop the throw down a little bit to put it through. This man was in full stride running. Yay! Touchdown! Mario Williams, I'm telling you, bro, it's one of the most impressive plays I've ever seen on tape I've scouted. And yeah, Caleb Williams is good, bro. He's definitely going to be a top pick next year, regardless of that. In my opinion.
Everybody, this is my guy Artie from FilmIssaArt. One last time, let the people know where they can find you at. Had a great time talking to you today, man.
As always, bro, we went back and forth a little bit about the boys, but you know that's how it is. When you're a fan of a team, especially with the Cowboys, you know, a team that I love and I relate to because you know my personal life, you know, people either hate me or love me. You know, same with the Cowboys. You either hate them
or love them. Oh, man, I hate the fact they always be on so many damn primetime games. That's the only thing that blows me about Dallas. It's like, damn, bro, NBC, 425, Fox primetime. Like, I'm tired of seeing these boys on my damn TV. Like, bro, why am I watching a terrible Bears team going against the damn Cowboys, fam? Put something better on. Put some better entertainment on, man. And I'm glad y'all finally got that boy Tom Brady out of there. Like, that's the only time I actually bet some money on y'all. Like, there were literally people picking against Dallas. And I was like, why you picking against Dallas? Man, I'll never bet against Brady. How much you trying to bet, bruh? Thank you, Dallas.
Listen, here's the problem. I'm trying to plug myself. Here's the problem. Y'all have to understand, that Bucs team, like, they have to play not only the 5 seed, but the 3rd best team in the conference. Like, what did you expect? They shouldn't even been in the playoffs. It wasn't their division. They wouldn't have made the postseason. And guess what? They still barely made it. Carolina was in the to the end, and freaking Atlanta if they didn't fumble the bag. Like, bro. But yeah, man. We have a lot coming up here at FilmIssaArt. We are, like I said before, we are launching our new and improved NFL pregame shows that we call the Sunday Spiral. It's gonna drop every Sunday at 11 a.m. So it'll be like a little TV show, about 45 minutes, but we'll get you prepared for Sunday of NFL action. We also this fall, and this is kind of breaking news. So hope y'all enjoy it. We also are launching a podcast called 100 Yards in Context. Well, each week on a certain day, we'll sit break down, what happened in the NFL draft space with our prospects weekly, and touch loose film NFL football as well, along with the film sections and all the normal things we do on the channel. So if you aren't subscribed, what the hell are you doing? Like AT invited me, but we got a whole squad. Like we just expanded from like 6 or 7 man staff to a 15-man staff. So this year things are gonna look a lot different. Look better. Things are definitely gonna go up and just have more quality. So if you aren't subscribed, you'll be seeing us real soon. Trust and believe that.
Subscribe to my guys Artie and the FilmIssaArt family.
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch as well. Same username and everything. FilmIssaArt.
And I'll have the link down to all of their social media platforms and their channel down in the description in the pinned comment section down below. Make sure that you guys check out the JT Sports Podcast. Available on all podcasting platforms, Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon. If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, rate us 5 stars. We would greatly appreciate it. Artie, it's been fun, man. We're definitely going to have you on again.
Y'all make sure y'all like this video. I've been seeing y'all on JT. I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro. I've been seeing y'all on JT videos. Y'all watching it, but y'all not liking the video. Y'all gotta understand, but we content creators, man. If you like that video, obviously you like the video because one, you watched it. Like, if you want to watch it, you're not gonna like it. But two, you helping us grow our audiences. We're not trying to stay stuck at whatever subscriber number we have. We're trying to grow. We're trying to multiply. We're trying to help others. You know what I mean? I've got a 110 subscriber YouTube channel. This guy has 13 subs, 13K subs. You don't gotta work with me. You know what I'm saying? Like the man's video. That man got more opportunity to grow his channel and grow his podcast. I'm doing them like that.
I appreciate that, man. Listen to the man. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to the NFL. Film breakdowns, all 22. Make sure that you guys go ahead, subscribe to FilmIssaArt. They're like family to us over here at JT Sports. And I appreciate you guys for listening to this episode of the JT Sports Podcast.